Hey, what's up guys? This video is about doing a systems check on a revolver. And now that winter is here, the temperature is dropping, and the heavier clothing's coming out, I've decided to carry this revolver for the winter time. That's right, it's the Smith & Wesson Hungry Man Model 657 Performance Center in 41 Magnum. Hey, why not? Why not carry this thing for self-defense? I don't see anything wrong with carrying a 41 Magnum. But really, to do a systems check on a revolver is pretty self-explanatory and, not that big of a deal. We all know what press checks are on semi-autos. System check for a revolver, all you do is break this action open. And what I like to do is put my thumb against the back of the cylinder and then do a visual and physical inspection of each cartridge. And that's all I do. I don't know if you can see that. And once I verify everything is A-OK and I'm good with everything, just close that cylinder up, lock it, and you're ready to rock. Now, the holster I have here is a crappy one. Well, it has a thumb brake, and I don't like concealed. For concealed carry, you don't need a thumb brake on a holster. It's just going to slow you down. But unfortunately, right now, this is the only kind of holster I have. But until I can custom order one, with probably a speed scabbard instead of inside the waistband, because I think in the winter months it's fine. I'll be just with this jacket on, no problem. All right, let's get on with this. All right, so another thing that I'm sure you revolver and wheel gun guys out there probably do is you should from time to time do functionality tests on your revolvers. From time to time. You don't got to do this every day. Now, okay, it's empty. I know before the thing was loaded up. But let me just drop in some snap caps, 41 Magnum snap caps. And that's what you should get. These are very useful, these things here, these A-zooms. And lock it up. But yeah, you should just do functionality tests. This one has a hammer, so I like to pull it back. Always point in a safe direction, of course. You guys know all the damn rules. Alright, just make sure everything is working. Cylinder's moving freely. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine. I mean, you could do those other tests where you're kind of seeing if the space between there is okay, and then making sure the cylinder's lockup is good. I mean, I don't really do that, much. Only when I first got this. But you just want to do some functionality tests, make sure everything's working correctly. And a lot of you know that my everyday carry is basically a J-frame, specifically the 340 M&P. And I still do a systems check every day. It's either in a pocket or it's inside the waistband. Either or, every day I go out and about, I still break that action open to do a visual and physical inspection of each cartridge, make sure everything's A-OK. And I take it one step further by making sure that the battery, is still operable. There's nothing wrong with that, so the laser still works. But just recently, I was at a gun shop and an armchair sales commando was instructing a customer about revolver and how to check, make sure it's loaded. And he was telling this customer that, the way to tell if a revolver is loaded is to inspect the circumference of the cylinder and make sure you see brass. Like that. He was doing that with the guy. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. You still got to break the action open. The armchair sales commando was telling him, why do you want to keep opening up the cylinder and open, close, open, close? You're going to ruin it, it's going to weaken it, and you're going to scratch up the insides. Well, hey, that's what part of life. So check this out. Let me show you something. So here we are with the action broken open, and we're visually inspecting it. Do you see anything funny? Yeah, well, here's a story for you. A law enforcement officer that I know of carries a J-frame as a backup piece, and he told me one time he went to the range, fired off the 5 shots, and he promptly put the J-frame back into his ankle holster and went on about his merry way. Now, he said almost a month and a half later, he took his J-frame out and to inspect it and clean it. When he opened up the action, he saw 5 of those. 5 of them. Thing wasn't loaded. And so that's a wake-up call. That was a wake-up call for him. And I mean, can you imagine that if by chance that's what you had, 5 of those, and things go south, you just hear click, 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 click. Oh my God, nothing's happening. So he didn't. Geez, he didn't reload it, which is interesting. But anyways, so you don't want that to happen to you. I mean, you want 5 empty casings like that. That's horrible. So that's why we do our systems check. And also, like I said, I take it one step further after visually and physically inspecting the rounds in the cartridges. I still check the laser to make sure it works. The battery's still working. Um, what else is there? Especially for pocket carry, you really got to get a can of air, compressed air like this. And because there's going to be a ton of lint that gets built up everywhere in all the nooks and crannies, it gets pretty bad actually. So you want to get some air and blast all that crap out of there, especially in that barrel. A lot of lint gets stuck inside there, believe it or not, and you really got to pay attention to cleaning this kind of on a regular basis, even though you didn't take it to the range. You got to get that lint out of all these nooks and crannies. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, invest in these A-Zoom snap caps because you definitely want to be doing functionality tests every once in a while, just to ensure that everything's operational. You know, you put the snap caps in there, you press this trigger a few times, make sure the cylinder's moving correctly, it's not getting stuck. And then you just want to make sure everything's a-okay. So that's about it. So right now I'm loading my J-frame up with the very violent and punishing 357 Magnums since wintertime is here. Normally I would carry these, but I do well with both now because I've been practicing so much. Not going to lie to you, this stuff hurts and it's very difficult to control follow-up shots with. But when you practice and you train with them, you'll get it. It's not a big deal. I like to carry this speed loader. I know a lot of you guys sent me messages or posted comments saying this is too bulky, it's kind of a hassle. It is, but 5 shots, I like to have an extra 5 just in case. But I like that old adage, being a private citizen and not someone that's going to be in a high, going to war or in a high risk situation where you're going to be pulling this thing out like a lot or whatever. 5 shots should be sufficient in a normal self-defense situation. 1% chance that's ever going to happen to anybody, a private citizen at least. So this is just extra insurance. That's all. Anyways, some more videos coming up. I may go on a little hiatus. I'm not sure. Holidays are coming. But I have messages to do a lot more videos on revolvers. So I'll focus, I guess, some more videos on the revolver. And actually, there was a bunch of messages, PMs asked me about the truck and stuff like that. And, did you trade anything in or sell things off? So maybe I'll do that next. But other than that, I don't know, just stay tuned. I'm just kind of surprised I'm still doing these videos. It's almost a year when my main thought was just to do like 2 videos and that was it. But, oh well, I'm having fun, so I'm just doing them anyway. Somebody's watching them. Alright guys, as always, stay safe out there and check 360 often. Later.